Hello, everyone. So today we're going to do a quick guide to decode with astrotheology. And I'm literally just going to sit here and wait until people start to come in and then I'll start interacting. Basically, um, my hip is acting up today. So if I seem a little off, that's why. Um, that's pretty much it. So what is it here? It's going to rain today. Okay. So, okay. Some people are starting to come in. I'm going to give it a little while longer, guys. If you're just getting here, my hip is acting up a little bit, so it's been helping. So if I seem a little off, that's why. So, guys, thank you for coming in. Some more people are coming in. We'll start this in about 12, 15 minutes. If you guys want to start leaving comments, let me know what's going on, where you're at, what's good, what's new. If you want to leave comments, please do. This isn't going to be a long video today, guys. It's not, but it is going to give away the secret, which is, I mean, I can't make this any simpler than I already am and what you're about to see today. I can't make it any simpler. There's just no way to. People get annoyed when I send them a link for 2.5 hour video that I made, not realizing I took them through 6,000 years of this nonsense and or this code, you know, and you send them a 2.5 hour video and suddenly they don't want to sit and watch it. You know, it can't be for everyone all the time, guys. That's the basic thing. So got more people coming into the chat, guys. Do you want to let yourselves be known in the chat? It's also, come to think of it, Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So everyone's probably at lunch. This was probably not a good idea. But we'll get to it and people will get back to it. Lewis is here. I don't recognize Lewis. Deborah's here. Hey guys, keep letting yourselves be known. I want to know who I'm talking to. These are new names. Like I said, this is going to be a short video. But it is giving away my secret, which is not a secret for anyone. Everyone should know this. So that's what we're getting into. So give it about another 10 minutes or so. Was on vacation. Sounds good. Will you do a little Q&A? Yeah. Yeah, guys, shoot them at me. Let's go. Come on. Leave some questions, guys. I would love to warm up with those. going to give it another 5 minutes, guys. And then in 5 minutes, we'll just start. Like I said, this isn't going to be an incredibly long video. Deborah Sullivan, I follow you every day. I discovered you through Santos. Was it when I was teaching at the Syncretism School or when he was just putting my videos up? It's crazy. Okay, here we go. Well, Deborah, thank you for following. Reach out to me on social media if you'd like. Your name does look familiar, but it could just be because it's a familiar name. But if we haven't talked on social media, reach out to me. Jero says hi. What is here too? Do you believe in entities outside the 3D that influence the world? Oh my God. There is no way to answer this question without pissing a lot of people off. There, no matter what position I take. Well, it would be different because if you're talking about the questions is basically are angels and demons, but they're not part of the 3D world, and they definitely do exist. Angels and demons do. They absolutely do. I've talked to enough demonologists. I've talked to enough people through their own personal experience of absolutely angels and demons do exist, and they're outside the realm. But they're not supposed to interact, right? So you're saying any entities outside the 3D? Well, if an entity is outside the 3D, then you're putting it at 5D because the fourth D is time. It's dimension 2. The fifth dimension, you'd have these entities coming in, and they would be dropping down in density into the 3D world, right? To exist, to be able to do that. And I believe that's possible too. I absolutely believe that's possible. Everything is vibrating, guys, like at different wavelengths, at different intervals. Here, right here, okay? It's not out there. All these dimensions take place simultaneously here. We're just vibrating at a different dimension. So is with time. People from the past, there's no people from the past, people from the future, and people from the now. There's no difference to where they are when they are. George Archuleta, hold on a sec. Micah, have you tried decode astrotheology and Indian ancient religious texts? Maybe the Gita. Okay, the Gita. I have not, and I've explained this a couple times before. The reason that I just haven't had time. I've done about 70 plus ancient texts, holy texts, that take a long time to read. And then I read them and I find all the key words and then I make the patterns and I show them all that stuff. But I have not had time to go into the Eastern yet. I'm still on the Western after all this time, and it's not, there's so much more to do. I've only done 3 Sumerian tablets, and I've got to get back to that. There's so much other, it's just, it keeps growing. I keep finding it in different places, and I'm like, this is so important. Why don't you care? I don't know. That's just how I feel, basically. Let's see here. So I have not gone into the Indian ancient religious texts. Joe says, hey, do you believe bloodlines have top-down control over our planet? Do I believe bloodlines do? Bloodlines are sort of like mid to high class in that area. They're not the top. They're not the top. Now, what you want to look into is Homo capensis. Those would be in Egypt. You have the elongated skulls, right? You have the ones that come out to here and they're wearing a head covering because their head was out like that. They were a rival competing group with us. And I believe they're at the top. I've seen some convincing stuff. So that's the answer to that. Karma Michelle. What's up, girl? What do you think about the box saga? I've done, okay, if you go to my YouTube and you go to the interview section, you'll find that I've done, I think, two episodes on the box saga. You can find the interviews there. Yeah, answer everybody. All right, let me see here. Santos was just on the missing link, and some idiot had to bring up. I can't tell you how funny this is, and I can't finish reading this. Santos was just on the missing link, and some idiot had to bring up Flat Earth, and Santos went off and derailed the whole interview. Look, I know Jesse. I know Jesse very well. Jesse has done me a favor that I can only say, like, not many people would do. I like Jesse a lot. And his show's getting up there. It's getting bigger, and I'm very happy for him. Santos was just, I just want to read it again. Santos was just on the missing link, and some idiot had to bring up Flat Earth. Look, guys, you saw what happened to Jordan Maxwell, right? When he was getting attacked by everything, and it just sort of made him come into his shell a little bit, and he just kind of like scampered off. He just got very sad. And they're messing with Santos too, but Santos is in Aries. And actually, Santos and me are exactly 6 months apart on the birth wheel. We're exactly 6 months apart. But he's Aries. He's hot-headed. I'm Libra. I'm more balanced. People, when you squeeze them, react differently. You know, Jordan kind of just picked up his stuff and he went to live with a friend. And Santos just basically nuked his channel. Because he was calling for the death of someone. And I wouldn't let that happen to me. I really do like Santos a lot. He has opened my mind to this. I taught for him in the syncretism school. He's how many of you found me. So I'm very grateful for that man, for everything. But he has a temper and a mouth. He's Australian. And Karma, now I'm going to have to go watch the damn thing. Actually, I'll text Jesse about it. Definitely need to know what happened and how bad it got. So, all right. The Blue Bloods. I haven't heard anybody referred to as that outside of humanity. So let me know what you mean by that. Glorious Ginger. Blessing to you, good sir. Well, that's a fine thing to say to me on this fine Irish morning out here. It hasn't stopped raining for like 12 hours. Anyway, this is fun. I like this. Okay, so Karma, the Vatican has a Santilli telescope they call Lucifer. Right, we know that the telescope is called Lucifer, and has indeed detected light and dark entities in our atmosphere and all around us that we can't see with the naked eye. Well, what do you think cats do? Why do you think cats were so revered in Egypt, Karma? Why do you think cats were so revered? Because, like children, before their pineal gland gets with the toothpaste and then the sink water and then just it slowly calcifies this, young children and animals are able to see that. That's why they'll just be randomly looking at something. Or you ever have a baby when they're 1.5, be like, Grandma. They're not crazy. They can see. They haven't been destroyed by this matrix that destroys our pineal gland. Lucifer, for those who know what Lucifer is, well, that is a whole other conversation. So I will definitely not do that right now. But light and dark entities in our atmosphere all around us that we can't see with the naked eye. Well, here's what you do. Get a Nikon 1000 and point it at the stars and tell me what you see. If you can even get those anymore. The stars are not what science says it is, by the way. A chimera. It's not a chimera. It's its own separate genus and species. Or species, I should say. Yes, nothing is moving. All is vibrating 24/7, Karma. Of course it is. The third Hermetic principle is what? 6,000 years old. The third Hermetic principle is nothing rests, everything vibrates. And these PhDs think they discovered string theory. We knew about it 6,000 years ago. Gravity is also bunk science. What we observe is electricity and frequency. Well, that's basically what Walter Russell talks about. Look into Walter Russell. His book. I'm not in Florida this week. Shit. All right, I'm going to pull the book out of the bookshelf. It's called The Universal Law of One, I believe it is, or the something to that effect. Get Walter Russell's book, and you'll find out that everything is electromagnetic. Everything. In fact, the book I just told you to recommend, Walter Russell showed it to Tesla before it went to print, and Tesla told him to stop it, put it in a vault for 1,000 years. Humanity wasn't ready for it. That's this guy. What group runs things? I've heard of so many groups: the Vatican, the Military Wing Order of Malta, European Royalty, Political Zionists, Freemasons, Switzerland, Roman Empire, reptilians, demonic entities. I mean, every single thing that you just mentioned. None of those are at the top. None of those are at the top. There is an entity that they show you in Egypt with the elongated skulls. You have to look into that. I promise you. It's not. We would think it's not from this world, but it is. Look into Antarctica too. The bloodline families run everything, naming the Cavendish. The Cavendish are the Kennedys. You're telling me that the Kennedys run everything? The Cavendish is where the Kennedy bloodline goes to. Check out Doopy Dives on Sandra's Coffee Talk, and he mapped out all of the genealogy. I'm not saying that these bloodlines, these 13 bloodlines, are not doing some heavy lifting. They're just not the top. They're not. I've heard that the Nikon 1000 zoom images just look like that because they are out of focus. It does look if you have water on a glass sloshing around with light passing through it. What you don't know about the Nikon 1000 is that as soon as these started getting recommended for people doing this and word caught on to this, they recalled all of them and they refurbished them in order to cause that. This is not just me building on a story. No, I've known this for a very long time. The second people started commenting on what they were seeing in the heavens, they removed all of them and they refurbished them and put them out without the ability to do that. So people are not ready yet, or just more nefarious shit, right? Kelly's here. Hello. The skull like Jacob Rothschild's like in that awful Indiana Jones movie with the crystal skulls. It's funny too because what my mentor Jordan used to say that he used to say Steven Spielberg was many things, but stupid wasn't one of them. I believe in the Indiana Jones movies, the first place they went to is Tibet. Why would they go to Tibet? He always made this point. Why would they go to Tibet first? What makes people more magnetic, auras, etc.? I don't know what you mean by magnetic. You talking personality-wise? Are you talking about electromagnetism? Just let me know what you're talking about. Do you have a source for the recall on the camera? I remember hearing this but couldn't find anything. Are you using the Brave browser or are you on Google? That is the question, isn't it? My hip is freaking killing me today. Okay, one more question. We'll get started very shortly, guys. Like I said, I'm just trying to answer some questions, fill some time, because I don't want this video to just be like 35, 40 minutes. Also, do you believe numerology and gematria works? The only thing I've ever seen from the numbers guys is them showing what happened after the fact. I've never seen numerology predict something. That's just my interpretation. Now I understand it. How you reduce numbers, power numbers. I understand that, but I've only seen it after the fact. I use Yandex. It gets better results than Brave. Yandex is China, though, isn't it? Can you just confirm for me? RH negative. Oh, my Lord. No. It goes back to that other group that I was telling you about, the Capensius. It goes back to that. Lori, hello. Russia. Ooh, that's even better. I may start using Yandex, but I'm pretty sure, isn't it monitored? I'm pretty sure it is monitored. All right, so let me just check my PowerPoint real quick. So, now, on top of just showing you the about 18 signs that I use to break down these texts, I'm going to teach you some of the other 48 today, too. I used to listen to Jordan Maxwell. I love Jordan Maxwell. Who doesn't love Jordan Maxwell? Are you going to make more vids about decoding the Bible as it pertains to our bodies, inner world, and not just the outer world? To be honest with you, I've been doing astrotheology for 12 and a half years. Unless I can explain something at the level that I can explain my work about the Bible to people, I'm not going to share any information. I'm kind of staying in my own lane with this a little bit. But what I do have planned is that when I do finish the work eventually one day, I'm going to bring other people onto this channel who are going to be able to explain, like I do, astrotheology, but from, like, let's say, an anatomical position or things of that nature. I have 34 vertebrae. They've targeted me. What does that even mean? Hello? Hi. I'm good. How are you? I'm already there, yeah. Hold on a sec. You could probably just check your decks. It'll come up. If you don't get it, you can shoot. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah, that works. All right, thank you. Yep. Was Jordan correct about that birth certificate stuff and how the Vatican owns your Christian name through trust and you are on the stock market? All of that is 100% true. And I have people on my channel, Carrie, Priscilla, Roxy. These three girls talk about this and how to break out of that. Deactivated by the phone call by his mom. Listen, don't act, Lewis, like if my marketing thing goes off towards the end of the year and I blow up, don't act like you're not going to say I'm a psyop, because everyone will eventually come around to it. Carrie's here. She was quiet for a little bit. Yes, Lewis, he was. You and everyone who had one are traded as a transmitting utility, your energy, on a platform called GMEI Utility. Yes, this is Carrie, guys. Can you elaborate on some details? We've done shows on this. If you go to my... So if you go to my interview section on my YouTube playlist, you'll see you'll see I interviewed Roxy twice. I interviewed Carrie twice. You'll find them. Just look for them. All right, guys. So we're coming up on 30 minutes. So let's just do this. Probably good start with the part 3 with me and Priscilla. Carrie, was that the one where we had the fancy backdrop and everything? And you guys hooked up the room? Unfortunately, most people are genuinely what we could call anti-Semitic and just see that if you... Yeah. I mean, I can't doubt that. All right, so Lewis, what you're going to want to do is go to my interview section on my YouTube playlist. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to scroll down on the interviews until one of the thumbnails looks like there's a nice backdrop. Because I don't do production value usually. That's not my style. I just get the information out and that's it. Look for that. And it's got Carrie and Priscilla in it. Yeah, definitely get into that. It's a good intro for sure. All right. So we're going to start how to decode with astrotheology. Okay. This is going to be, I'm not going to do my 12 signs that I always do, guys. I'm not going to do the 12 signs because you guys should know them. But more importantly, because this is sort of different. So here we go. Hold on. Let's start with Aries. Ram, lamb, shepherd, ram's horn. Those are the keywords. There is a constellation called Triangulum, which is a triangle in Aries. Draco begins in Aries too, and it's a cardinal sign. Bull, calf, ox, cow is Taurus. The queen is Cassiopeia, the seated woman. Andromeda is the chained woman. And also the word belt, because it's Orion's belt. It's a fixed sign. Gemini, twins, brothers. Now, Little Bear, Ursa Minor, right? Charioteer, chariot is a constellation called Aruga. The hunter is Orion. The rabbit is Lepus, that's Gemini. The deer is Mariga. The camel leopard, Camelopardalis, guys, we've gone over that. That's in Gemini. The Camelopardalis is Camelos pardalis, camel leopard. And I always tell you guys that when they first saw the giraffe, that's what they named it, the camel leopard, because it was this enormous looking, weird shaped, extremely tall with spots. And they were like, that's a fucking camel leopard. I've got nothing else. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. That's what it looks like. That's what happened. That's actually what happened. So Cancer, crab, scarab, the great bear and the little bear, Ursa Minor, Ursa Major. Bees, the beehive cluster. Honey, dog, Canis Major, Canis Minor. Donkey, Acellus Borealis. And this is the beginning of the ship, Argo, right? So there are these stories, Gilgamesh and the Bible. And you're talking about the flood stories, right? And so it starts in Cancer, the ship, and it comes all the fucking way down to Sagittarius, I believe. And that's also where the Milky Way galaxy is. So you've got this boat coming down the waters, the rivers of the Milky Way galaxy. That's what they would be talking about. So Argo is the ship that starts in Cancer. They don't mention the word ship in any holy text that I've so far found more than, a couple of times, but it's a good one to know. Leo is lion, lioness, cub. It's also the water snake serpent. Hydra is there. Remember Hail Hydra? The little bear and the great bear. That's Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. The ship, Argo, is also in Leo. It's a fixed sign. Virgo, virgin, woman, wheat, grain, seed, barley, corn. This is from my signs of the 12. Great bear, Ursa Major. Water snake, sea serpent, Hydra. The raven is Corvus. The cup is Crater, and the ship is Argo. Libra, law, judge, justice, the just one, divorce, marriage, court, wine, vineyard, wine press, olive oil, water snake, serpent, that's Hydra. The cup is Crater. The wolf is Lupus, and the ship is Argo. This is a cardinal sign. Scorpion, betrayer, betrayal. Crown, Corona Borealis, the northern crown. Water snake, serpent, Hydra. Wolf, Lupus. Ship, Argo. Fixed sign. Sagittarius, horse, bow and arrow, spear, horseman. Lupus, the wolf. Altar. The altar is a constellation called Ara. It's an altar. So you know what to do when you see the word altar now. The crown, Corona Australis, southern crown. Dragon, Draco. Milk, Milky Way galaxy. Mutable sign. Capricorn, goat, kid. Vulture or eagle, that's Lyra, and eagle is Aquila. Cardinal sign. Aquarius, son of man, man, baptism, water pitcher, water jar, fountain, stream, river, pond, lake, ocean, sea, dragon, that's Draco, vulture, eagle, that's Lyra, the eagle is Aquila, the swan is Cygnus, the sea monster, the whale, is Cetus. That's a fixed sign. And then lastly, you have Pisces, stream, river, pond, lake, ocean, sea, fish, Leviathan, the fish god, Dagon, more fish god worship, Mithra, that's more fish god worship, two fish is Pisces, dragon, Draco, swan, Cygnus, sea monster, whale, Cetus. Mutable sign. So guys, rewatch this as much as you want. I also sell all my work if you guys are interested. I do have a book series, Into the Rabbit Hole series at gmail.com. I mean, not that's my email. Into the Rabbit Hole series is my book series, Into the Rabbit Hole. And I do, I sell them on Amazon. And I used to sell signed copies. I may start to do so again. I just want to get like a feel for it. And yeah, and the other thing too is I sell flash drives of all my work, including what you just saw here. So let me start going to questions. But I don't usually do this, guys. I did this because I really wanted to hang with you. And that's 100% why I did this. But my hip is on fire, guys. So you'll forgive me, right? I agree with you, Micah, that the Naga reptilian shapeshifters are at the top of the pyramid. You know what's interesting, Karma, about this? The interesting thing about the reptilian idea is that in Barbara Marcinak's Pleiadian Message to Earth, which if you haven't listened to, I demand you do. It's called Wake Up the Family of Light. That's what the video is called. She talks about the reptilians years before David Icke's book that supposedly blew the lid off of it was. They don't want, I don't know why they pinned reptilians on David Icke. It doesn't make sense to me. I do like Icke, and I have been on their channel. They follow me on Twitter. I might be doing something one day with them. Just a matter of time, I guess. But I don't know why it was pinned on him. But the reptilian shapeshifters are at the top of the pyramid. Where are they then? Are they in Antarctica? Where are they? Are they in Greenland? Hecto, 888 today. But what I think is interesting about Doopy's dives is he busted Noah Yavahari. Flashing the cover image for the Leviathan. It's just, are you talking about when he did this? No, that was a different thing, right? Where he did something like this and it was 14 and the fish. Is that what you're talking about? Am I remembering this correctly? Noah Yuval Harari is a dangerous, dangerous person. And I think he's the one who's running everything at the WEF. I think Klaus Schwab he's going through what Biden did. They're basically keeping alive a corpse. That's what I think. Targeted individual program. Actually, it looks like a ley line ritual. 41 north latitude, Big Dipper facing north, RHO negative. Are those crib notes from a... Talk about the ley lines, huh? Of your show. Question is January 20, U.S. Eagle. The same date Altair and Aquila is at his highest point. I'm not really sure. That's something that you could easily look up, though. I'm not sure why you're focusing on January 20th, though. Is that when the president takes office? I don't know. Let me know. Have you seen Astana, Kazakhstan? It will replace the city of London soon. It has Masonic architecture all over you and stupid amount of money put into the building. You don't realize how much money. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you guys a little lesson in something. Number one, you have a lot of, there's a lot more money to be made in cleaning up an oil spill than there is in actually pumping the oil, which is why they spill all the time. That's number one. Number two, rebuilding bombed out cities. Watch what they do to Gaza, because people get contracts in order to rebuild the whole thing, and then boom, that's the top of everything. You got that's all the masonry work. You're right about that. But to be honest with you, I don't see anybody but the Masons actually making real architecture anymore. I mean, we can't even replicate the freaking, what is that? Like Gothic architecture. There's no way we could rebuild Notre Dame the way it was. We just don't have it. The ancients used to. This is it. Is that they hide the achievements that people do. They hide the achievements of us in order to keep us stupid. And then you can look in the past and see like the pyramids and the Sphinx and this and that. There's no way that we can do that now. They've tried. In Japan, they tried to build a pyramid a fourth of the size, and they had all the strongest equipment. They couldn't do it. So if they were able to do that kind of stuff back then, why wouldn't they be able to encode all these books the way that I'm showing it? Just a question, I guess. Yeah, before they neutered AI, I got Dolly to scrap an image of Dagon, and it's like a dragon in space. Yeah. If you could read only one book about alternative history, which would you recommend? I mean, I don't like alternative history. It's not alternative. It's true history. If I could start you off on one book, it would be Jim Marrs' Rule by Secrecy. You want to learn about everybody? That's the book. Rule by Secrecy by Jim Marrs. Well, the Naga aren't totally reptilian. They're more akin to snakes. I believe so. That's reasonable. My mentor, Jordan, used to tell me that he's the one that brought David Icke into this country. And I could talk to Johnny Enoch, I guess, but I don't know who else would know. No, the 14 fish on the one hand was Podesta. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, they found a Comet ping pong pizza parlor flyer that had the Podestas, the Clintons, and the special guest of honor was Kamala Harris's sister. This was like 5-6 years ago. They just found that. Check out the book Leviathan, Micah. It's interesting. Thanks, Karma. Leviathan? Is this going to be like a Old Man in the Sea book? Do you believe in the ether? Absolutely. Are you kidding me? That's basically all that there is. It's funny because I've noticed that around the same time that Nikola Tesla was basically being shamed and hidden and all that stuff, they removed ether from the textbooks as the fifth element. Now, why would they do that? This is even before the Rockefellers took over the education system. So I don't really got any more comments. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You ever listen to Tesla talk spirituality? It is wild. It is like the left brain is trying so hard to explain a right brain concept. And he gets pretty damn close, to be honest with you. It's interesting. Look it up on YouTube. Please search up Bible, Old versus New Testament cross-references visualized. Why? What are we looking for? I'm not going to be here much longer, guys. I don't mean in general. I'm still here. Relax. But I do need to go lie down soon. So, guys, get your questions out, please. I'll do this again tomorrow. This was fun. These texts are encoded. You know the funny thing about what I do is, the interesting thing, because I just took you guys through it. It took, 15 minutes at most? The thing about what I do is that none of those words are up for debate whether it was translated correctly or not. I'll give you an example. In the Jewish Bible, it tells you thou shalt not murder. That's the word. But in the King James Bible, it says thou shalt not kill. Well, you can get into a very wide discussion about what is killing and what is murdering, right? But none of those kind of words are up for debate when it comes to my breakdown. That's the thing that's beautiful about it. Nobody, are you challenging that they meant goat? Are you challenging that they meant bull, sheep, cow? Are they challenging that they said camel? Right? This is the beauty of it. Tesla told you how to do it. He says, think in terms of frequency and vibration. So that's what I do. Good for you. I like you, Karma. Find me on social media. Yes, I call it hidden history. Yep. But to be honest with you, I've never heard an explanation for the 369 that's ever sat right with me. I just can't. I've heard so many different explanations from it, and none of them grab me. All right, guys, we're about to go into our daily refractory period, and I'm going to be taking off and leaving you with some things to think about. So I've had a wonderful time. Wonderful questions. Good times. Let's do this again tomorrow.